Hey everybody, and welcome to my May favorites. It feels kind of weird doing this actually on time, the time I'm supposed to be doing it in the month. But I have rounded up some great products to chat about today, and I also have a few things that are sort of in the dud category, and I think, you know, it's nice to check in on a monthly basis and let you know what those things are too. Normally I do these really loose buns, and today I chose to like tighten it up, and I feel very secure. Normally my buns are like just a tiny gust of wind away from completely falling apart, so this is nice. I got fancy today for some reason, but I want to jump in and talk about the first thing that kind of saved my skin after I had traveled and I'd had sunburn situations. I feel like my skin in the past month has been a little bit weird. I've had breakouts in areas where I don't normally get them, so I felt like, gosh, I don't want anything too heavy on my skin, but other areas of my skin really had felt dry. So I felt like I had to cater to dryness, but also, I guess, sensitivity. So I thought, what's the most basic thing that I have that's not gonna have a lot of fragrance, it's not gonna make anything flare up, and just calm my skin down for a while? And what really worked well was this Clinique Moisture Surge Intense. I feel like this 100% helped out my dry areas, but also it didn't make my breakouts any worse. Like, I had a weird little flare up a few days ago, and I'm not sure what that was from, but you know, that's kind of calmed down now since. I just feel like this is a good option when you want something really gentle, you need the hydration, but you're a little scared about breakouts and things going too far. I mean, I feel like this never made any sort of breakout that I had on my skin worse, but it really catered to the dryness. And yeah, it's just a good basic all over, really intense moisturizer. So I enjoy that very much. It's the Moisture Surge Intense. That also kind of saved my skin during that whole like full coverage foundation try on thing that I did, where I put on 6 different foundations all in a row, and this was the thing like in between all of them that really kept my skin from drying out. And I think it also gave the fuller coverage foundations the freshest, most natural look possible. Now, speaking of those foundations, a lot of those in that video you probably heard me talk about quite a bit, but my newest discovery of the month would probably be this Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation. And my big full size did come in, but I'm still using up my sample, although this might be like a really good thing to travel with actually. But I wear the shade Cameo, and something I did notice as I went through the editing process of that video and I was looking at all like my little before and after pictures, that video is loaded with before and afters because I wanted to show, you know, here's where my skin started, here's what the foundation alone did for me. And the whole kind of premise was concealer optional skin. And I do think this one might have been the best with not only helping discoloration or spots or redness on the face, but it actually did a really good job on my under eye area too. So today, like, I'm wearing this foundation and I just dabbed a little bit of like a brightening concealer sort of right in here, but I didn't make any big effort to conceal my under eye, and I think that's really cool. What else is special about this, if you've never tried this foundation before, it's so full coverage, but it's really, really thin. It's definitely the thinnest out of anything I talked about in that full coverage video. So it's got some really impressive qualities, and it's very easy to blend. It doesn't set too fast on the skin. Although today I tweeted about this too. I like thought I had a major streak going on right down here on my chin, and I was like blending and blending over it, and then I turned my face a little bit. I'm like, no, that's a crease from my freaking pillowcase or my sheet or whatever. But highly impressed by this foundation. This was sent to me in a PR box, but I did buy the full size. Normally I have my stuff all in a nice little neat pile, but today it happens to be all over the place. A couple of face things that really knocked my socks off this month are my bronzer and highlight from Makeup Geek, and these are the ones being sold at Target now, so congratulations, Marlena. I think that's huge, so impressive. And she's got this tawny medium skin bronzer that I feel like is just so incredibly on point for my skin. Just really, really looks great from a contouring perspective, from a lightly bronzing the skin perspective. I'm starting to realize I think this is the perfect tone, so I love that. And then maybe something I love even more than that, like I'm even more over the top impressed by, is the Starlight highlighter, and this is what I have on my cheeks today. And what you want to do with this is put it on with your little brush, you know, maybe a brush about this size, get it going on the skin, and then buff it in circular motions, because it really achieves, I think, the most beautiful sheen on the skin when it's actually blended in. Like, this will give you that streak of highlight if you want it, but it really looks so flattering when you kind of blend it all over that apple of the cheek and on upward. Oh, she did such a great job on that. I've also kind of been experiencing this rebirth of blush palettes here. One that I've loved that's recently come out from Milani is the Floral Fantasy Trio, and this is the more like kind of coral and earthy tone own blush collection that they put out. I have a whole review on some new Milani things, and this just really impressed me. And I had some people telling me after that video, like, oh, too bad it's sold out on the website, or I can't find it where I live. So I did kind of start looking through my collection and really kind of re-expose myself to a complete old favorite, which is my Makeup Revolution Hot Spice palette. It's the Ultra Blush palette, but the shade that I love in this is Hot Spice. They also have a cooler, more pinky option. But a lot of the shades in here really take you in that same kind of direction that I love so much in the Milani, like this color right up here in particular. I'm wearing that today as my blush, and I'm wearing it very softly, but it's kind of like that can't put your finger on it look of health on the skin, not necessarily like, oh my god, would you look at that blush? They're just really pretty flattering shades in here. You've got some that do go more toward the pink perspective and some that are more of like that natural peach, which is also something that's in this palette. And then they give you a couple highlighters to boot here, so it's a really great value. I have been a fan of their blush palette, their contour palette for the longest time. They've been Emily award-winning products on my channel. And in the process of kind of going through my stuff and shopping my stash, which by the way, thank you so much for the response to that back of the makeup drawer video. I freaking love doing that. I thought that was so much fun. And I want to keep doing that because I think it's the absolute best way to ultimately like declutter your stash. You might only declutter like a handful of things, but what I love about it is that instead of just going through a pile of products that I'm vaguely familiar with, you know, some of them, I felt like it was a video practically like a final cut or something, like actually giving things one more shot, really thinking about it, and then being really sure about my decision to let go of something or keep something. So yes, I enjoyed that. I'm gonna keep doing that kind of video. But something else that I've come up with here that is a really good blush palette, plus bronzers too. Two of these top shades are bronzers. This is kind of like a neutral blush to me, but it's this Viseart Plum Bronze palette. And this is one of those things in my stash where I'm like, ooh, it's a fancy product, like I don't wanna use it all up too fast. Like I'm gonna just tear through it and hit pan in a week or something. But I want to feel more free to like, yeah, use the good stuff. You know, if you got it, use it. Don't just let it sit. And there is a shade in here, and I have actually used this quite a bit. I don't know if you can tell how much the brush is really torn into that shade, but that lightest color looks almost like nothingness here, but it is such a pretty, fresh, like baby's blush type color, I think is what I've called it in the past. I've talked about this palette before, and it's great when you mix it in and take it a little deeper with the plum. This is a very rich berry shade that, yes, even I will wear. Like a deeper skin tone may be perfectly suited to that shade, but for me, I can even blend in little bits and get a gorgeous look on the cheeks. So that's just another sort of little rediscovered palette find. I feel like I gotta give it up to a couple of killer eye brushes that just, they rock. If you didn't see my video where I did a 5-brush full face makeup look, these were the 2 brushes for eyes. Wait, let me back that up. I really hope you'll watch that if you didn't see it, because I was very proud of that video. I thought it turned out really well. And please share it with the makeup beginners in your life who are just overwhelmed with brush selection and just want some easy drugstore choices, because everything was drugstore, but these were the eye brushes. They're sold in a duo. They're from Real Techniques, and they're called the Instapop eye brushes. One is bigger, chubbier, can do crease, can do blending. I mean, but the cut of the brush is everything. From the side, kind of a wedge shape, but then they've got this flatness to the overall surface of the brush that makes them great for packing on shadow, and I think making the most of a shadow. This smaller one is what you want to be using, packing colors on the lid, working them out into the crease, pulling them up and creating that lifted look from your outer corner. Also, this is a masterful brush at blending the lower lash line. If you want to hear like all those steps in great detail and watch them apply some eyeshadow, check out my Makeup Brushes Simplified video. And if you're into quick application, if you're into not too fussy, they're great. But even if you are into fussy, this small one, I tell you, will surprise you completely with all the things it can do on your eyes. And when I think about like the creation of these brushes and what they must have done to like figure out this unusual shape, and when they realized how good it was, like they must have had an absolute party over there at Real Techniques headquarters. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, I think this is one of the most brilliant brush designs of our time. And they've also made that design, this is probably the best way to show you, because on the blush brush, you can see this is what the shape is. They've just pared it way, way down for the eye brushes. But it's got this flat area to collect product, and then you also have this sort of tip that can also do so many things. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. My favorite lash that's really taking over my life are the Koko lashes in Risque. I'm wearing them now. Here's a backup set so you can really see what they're about, but I love this lash. I don't have to cut this lash. It's actually not too long left to right. The bulk of the length is in the middle. It just frames the eye really beautifully, but it's dramatic. You know, it's a pretty dramatic lash, but it's just kind of different from a lot of things I have in that the length is really hitting you here, not so much pulling outwards. So it shapes your eye differently. And I think it's fun. I love that style. Koko lashes are also insanely durable. Like, I have a ton of backups, but I'm on probably my first ever pair of Risques that I've owned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've worn these probably dozens of times. If you just take care of them and you're really careful about pulling your glue off when you're done with them and not like leaving them in a rumpled mess like under a magazine or a coaster somewhere, like, they'll last. Also, let me let you in on a little secret. This thing. Okay, what is this? This is not an eyelash curler. This is from Sephora, and I don't know the exact name because I've gotten rid of the box. But this, I'm gonna nickname this guy my little clamper. This is your eyelash clamper. It opens really wide, and then once you got your lashes on, you can go like this. Ooh, and you can bond those real and false lashes so well, and nothing is sagging down this way. Nothing is cutting into your actual eye space, your eyeball space, you know what I mean? Sometimes when lashes, or even just your natural lashes, sag down lower than your real lashes. This is a straight lash person problem here that I'm talking about. But we can struggle when we don't have perfect curl in our lashes. And maybe we're playing with a new mascara that day, it just kind of, everything's fallen down. This really sticks them all together. So, I'm gonna use it to put on like a little puppet show for my kids later. A couple of lip things, and then I want to mention a couple of duds as well. The one I've been wearing throughout the video is this Amore Shine from Milani, and it's in the color Idol. It's like a pinky berry. It's very opaque. It's very shiny. It feels fantastic on the lips. It's a really nice formula if you like that full color, like lip lacquer type thing, you know, because it's shiny. I've also loved my Becca Glow Glosses, particularly the shade Camellia, which is going to be a little bit lighter and softer, I guess you might say, than the Amore Shine. I tried this on, of course, in my Becca try-on video, but it's just like, it's a glowing type look off the lips because there's just enough sheerness in this Becca pink, and it just looks so pretty. I don't know what it is, but I'm really feeling a fresh pink glossy lip right now. But while the Milani shade isn't like a total dupe for this, because like I said, this is lighter, a little more sheer, I'm kind of wanting to dig a little deeper into the Amore Shine line and see if they have an even lighter pink. The other one that I have that's called Enchanting is more of a warm pink. Neither one is a total match for Camellia, but I think it might possibly be out there. I'm on dupe watch for that one for sure. Okay, here's what I didn't like. These from L'Oreal. These are the Les Chocolats scented Pro Matte liquid lipsticks. Yes, they do smell like chocolate, kind of. They're trying to be chocolate. They do smell a little chocolatey, okay? I'll give them that. There are 6 shades. When they give them to you in these frosted type containers, it's so hard to tell what actual shades you're dealing with. I think I'm gonna swatch them all on my hand for you real quick. The positive points about these would be that, yes, they smell like chocolate. When they sent the PR package, they also sent like the most adorable box of lip chocolates, and those were really good, and those really like threw off my healthy eating for a day or two. But you guys are not watching my channel for me to tell you how great the chocolate was. You want to know, was the product actually good? And I just can't latch on to these. Now remember the Pro Matte glosses? Those are amazing from this line. The Pro Matte liquid lipsticks, I have not really been huge on just the regular line of these that are out, but there are some really pretty colors, so I'm kind of like, okay, you know, that's fine. Here I can vouch for the fact that they're overall super long wearing, although kind of patchy. There's a lot of the color still remaining on my lips after like an entire day and into the night, because I thought I had one of these removed when I didn't. But they don't feel great. You're gonna go through this phase after you've put them on where it's like, okay, smooth and creamy. Then the dry down starts to happen and you go through a short sticky phase where you're thinking, are my lips gonna feel like this all day? Like pressing together and sticking together. And then, I don't know, after a short time, maybe 10 minutes, that seems to pass. And it becomes more just like a dry matteness on your lips. But there's a little heaviness even when I go for the sheerest, like thinnest application of the product. And it just does not look pretty as it wears down, because these nudes can make my lips look extra dry than even like a bright color might. And then as they start to wear off, it's like I just hate the look of seeing that inner part of my mouth and how unnaturally these colors kind of chip away from that area and look so gnarly. These are the swatches, and I did notice as I was testing these, they all get a little deeper as they dry. If I were to pick one shade that felt somewhat wearable to me, it would be this fourth shade in 1, 2, 3, 4. This one that looks a little bit like mauve-y there. It's called Box of Chocolate. The only reason why I point that out is not really because I'm so in love with that color, but because it's a little bit more close to my natural lip color, so it doesn't look as bad as it wears down. And this dark one here is like, you feel like you're applying Hershey's chocolate syrup to your lips as you put that on. That's exactly what it looks like. And they're intense colors. They are opaque on the lips. They don't look streaky at the onset, but they don't feel great on the lips. While they stay on most of your lips through the day, this patchy wear down that inevitably starts to happen is just not appealing to me. But a lot of these tones just make me look really blah, just like, ugh. I think they're here to be really trendy and take on that kind of grayish, cool cast. But if there's something I've learned about lip colors, it's that they can be so beneficial to the look of your entire face. It's not just something that you put on and you like isolate it from everything else and like, ooh, that's an interesting lip color. No, it's gonna play off of your eyes, your cheeks, your whole skin tone and everything. And a great lip color can do you so many favors for all those things. A great lip color can make you look healthy when you're sick, you know? It's really a thing, and these just fell short for me. But like I said, don't confuse these Pro Matte liquid lipsticks with the line of Pro Matte glosses, which are just phenomenal. They're like a lip cream kind of thing. They don't set up to be this really hard, like unnatural feeling, separate layer of product on your lips. They feel so good. Here's the other thing that was sent to me that I didn't really go for. It's the Urban Decay Light Beam Eyeshadow Palette. I was interested and I've done some looks with this, but I can't make it be outstanding. A matte shade called Nudie. This color called Vibe has a little shimmer. Paradox is pretty shiny, that peach color. Golden Hour wants to have like a little bit of warm reflectivity, but yet it comes off kind of grayish blue as well, and then influences this deeper bronze. I've used Golden Hour kind of on its own. I've tried layering it up over some of the other shades in hopes of finding some real sweet spot, like, oh my gosh, this is a transcendent, like really, really beautiful eyeshadow look, and I'm just not really nailing it. If you've got a really special way to wear this palette, what's the secret? Because my looks, you know, while this color's nice and that can really brighten things up, my looks come off just kind of dull, I feel like. But I like the compact size, you know, I like the idea of a little 5-color palette from Urban Decay, you know, a real pared down selection of shades. I think when I work in this bronze as well, things get kind of murky. This is a shimmery bronze, and I don't know, murky might be the best description of most looks I do with this. Guys, we need to talk about another purchase I made here, which I feel I must tell you about this because I want to know whether you guys think this was worth it or not, because I'm kind of edging toward no. But I got one of the Guerlain lipsticks, and they're doing this thing with Sephora with all kinds of pretty caps, which the caps are cool. They come off and there's a mirror that opens up. You've got double mirror there. So this little jigger right here holds it down when it's on, and then when you take it off, you know, that'll pop open. But they had all different cap designs, and they're very weighty on this side. Like there's a nice weight in the hand to this product. It feels expensive, and I can't remember the name of this. I'll put it on the screen, but the style that I got, I think turned out gorgeous. It's like this soft pink, but kind of opalescent. It's so pretty. So you'll have this cap forever, and you could buy, I guess, different lipsticks that would fit in with it. This was the lipstick that I got. It's number 6. It's pretty, it's so basic. It smells a little bit florally, like a hint of old school L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick coming through there, but not quite as strong. I feel like I need to put it on for you guys. It's rich, it's creamy, it's smooth, it's kind of like a warm pink. There are probably countless drugstore lipsticks that could feel like this and give me this kind of a look. Like it's such a freaking common shade, and maybe that was just my error in what I chose, but I just wanted something that I thought I could wear a lot of if I was gonna spend money on this product. But I really think I just bought it for the cool cap. I thought, oh, that's a neat idea. I really wanna get one of those cool caps, the enclosed mirror and everything. But the lipstick itself, I'm just underwhelmed. Like I don't know what I wanted it to feel like. I've tried some expensive lipsticks. I have a Tom Ford lipstick that I think feels expensive. The creaminess of that lipstick, it's like, it's really an experience to glide it across the lips, and it just feels expensive. This kind of feels like any cream lipstick. If this were like a blind test and somebody put this on me and then put on a Maybelline Color Sensational, I don't think I'd be able to feel the difference. The cool thing is just that you've got a neat customizable cap. The practical side of me says, of course it's not worth it. The fun side of me says, but the cap does flip open. I am so interested in your take on that and whether you think the lipstick was worth it or the cap was worth it, or is it all just totally ridiculous? But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I always enjoy these monthly product chat sessions we have, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.